Hello and welcome to another Manny Explains. I hope you're going to enjoy today's video. It's all about the Kabbalistic rituals from the new Thousand Sons Codex. If you haven't already, guys, hit that subscribe button and notifications bell in the corner over there so you know each time we release one of these videos. So let's jump straight into it. I've had quite a few people asking me how do Kabbalistic rituals actually work. So today we're going to explain how they work and look through a couple of the ones which personally, after using them for a few games, I thought were like the standout ones that I used all the time and found more valuable than others. So first of all, how do they work? You've got to be pure Thousand Sons. If every unit from your army is Thousand Sons, other than unaligned units, then you get access to Kabbalistic rituals, otherwise you don't. So if you've only got a Thousand Sons detachment in your army and the rest of your army is something else, then you won't get access to this. This is for pure Thousand Sons players only. So what happens is at the start of your psychic phase, you generate Cabal points for each model on the battlefield with this ability. So it's as follows. If Magnus the Red is alive, you get 4 Cabal points for him. If you have Araman, for each model, that is, you've only got one Araman obviously, for Araman, each Demon Prince and each Exalted Sorcerer alive, you get 3 points. For each Sorcerer or Sorcerer in Terminator Armor or Infernal Master, you get 2 points. And for each Aspiring Sorcerer and Scarab Occult Sorcerer, you get 1 point. So, you know, if you've got like one Demon Prince, Araman, an Exalted Sorcerer, that's 8 points. And then you've got like a few, you know, Rubric Sorcerers and Scarab Occult Sorcerers, say 4 or 5 of them. You're going to get a good 13, 14 points there. I think the average is going to be like 14 to 20, between 14 and 20, somewhere around there. That's how many Cabal points you'll have if you go pure Thousand Sons with the way that you write your army. Obviously, it'll slightly vary if you've taken more Demon Princes or if you've got loads more 5-man units of Rubrics or something like that. So I know for me, I've been using Ahriman, 2 Demon Princes, that gives me 9, and then I've got 4 Rubric Sorcerers and 2 Scarab Occult. So I start with 15. In each psychic phase, I get 15 until my psychers start dying, and then I get less and less each turn. And what happens is you can use each ritual once. So you've got Kabbalistic rituals with these points, and each one is a certain number of points. And you can use each ritual once, unless, of course, you have like an ability that lets you do it multiple times or anything like that. And also, each unit can only use one as well. You can't have one unit that benefits from like 3 different ones. You got to use them sparingly, basically, and you got to kind of plan a little bit around them. But each one has its own Kabbalistic ritual value. Some of them might be a value of 4 points, some of them might be a value of 6 points, 8 points, 9 points, and so on. But as soon as you use one of them, you lose that many points from your pool. So say you start with 15 like I do. If you use one that costs you 7, you're now down to 8. So then you might want to use a 5 and a 3 or 2 4s or something like that. And you've got to kind of plan at the very start of your psychic phase, if I use this one, I'll have this many points left, which is perfect for this one and this one and stuff like that. So it is quite challenging to do, but it does give you some flexibility. And of course, any ritual points that you don't use do not get carried over until your next turn. They are discarded. So, you know, make sure you use them optimally and use every single, you know, one that you can use. I think get your money's worth out of them, basically. And then, so just to say, that's how they work. That's how you generate them, how you spend on them. Only 1 per unit. Only use each ritual once. And then any unspent points are all discarded. Now, I'm just going to walk you through 3 of the ones that I thought were better than the rest. So the first one is Echoes from the Warp. That one was 4 points. And for that one, you pick 1 Psyker from your army, and you do it when they do a psychic action, Echoes from the Warp. You just go, they can now perform this psychic action instead of doing powers. And it's only Warp Charge 3, and you gain 1 command point. That's massive because you're already gaining 1 in your command phase. And then if you gain 1 in your psychic phase as well, you get your command point bonus again, and gaining 2 CPs a turn means that you're going to gain 10 throughout the game instead of 5. And just for 4 Kabbalistic ritual points, I think that's pretty tasty because in most armies, that'll still leave you with between 11 to 14. So why not do it? I use that pretty much every single turn. And then the other one that I used literally every turn was Malevolent Charge. I thought this one was great. So it's 4 points again, and you use it when a psychic power cast by a cycle from your army, inflicts mortal wounds on an enemy unit, and that unit, you pick one of those units, and they take an additional D3 more wounds. Now, I was using this with Araman because I gave Araman Doombolt. Doombolt's incredible now. Just the nearest unit, I think within 12 inches of him or 18 inches of him, that unit just takes 3 mortal wounds. Not even D3 anymore, 3 mortal wounds. So you do that, then you spend 4 points and go, they're going to take an additional D3 now. So his Doombolt was doing, and the reason why I was doing that on Araman is because he casts 3 powers. So I was doing Doombolt, and that was letting him do 3 plus D3. D3 plus 3 mortal wounds, basically. And then I was doing like Tzeentch's Firestorm, and that was doing more mortal wounds. So the reason why I've chosen to do that on Araman every turn, guys, is because his output is insane. So he does 3 psychic powers, and I just tooled him up to do damage. So I've got him on a disc. He moves 12 and advances, and obviously stays by guys so he can't be shot and stuff. But because he's moving so fast, the range of his powers just increases that much more by putting him on a disc. And then basically I was doing Doombolt and then spending the 4 points for Malevolent Charge. And that was letting him do 3 plus D3 mortal wounds there, which was like an average of 5. Then on top of that, I would smite with him every turn. So he does an average of 7. And then on top of that, I'd do Tzeentch's Firestorm as well, which is an average of either 2 wounds or 3 wounds if you cast it on 9 or more. So he is doing like 10 mortal wounds on his own when you use this charge thing on him. So I think that's insane. The ability to just kill like a whole 5-man unit of Marines, Vanguard veterans, any of that kind of stuff is just insane. Like if he went into Sacrosanct, he would just kill a 10-man unit of Sacrosanct, which is incredible. So I think that's definitely one of the ones that you should be using in most turns. And the other one, which I thought was incredible, was Pact from Beyond. Pact from Beyond, I use that in every turn because I think being able to have this ability reliably is insane. So what it does is it costs you 7 points, which seems pretty steep, but you do not make a psychic test roll for 1 power. That psychic test is passed at the minimum required warp charge value. So now that Sorcerer's Facade, so I was Cult of Duplicity, that's why I had to use this every turn, because it's too risky to fail that Sorcerer's Facade. It's like Gate of Infinity. You pick a unit up from the board and you put it down 9 inches away from your opponent straight away. The ability to just be able to beam around the board like that, get you shooting and your charges exactly where you want them is incredible. That's absolutely insane. So you don't want to be failing that power. And now it's cast on a warp charge value of 8. So I'm like, I'm not risking that. I'm just going to spend 7 points and automatically cast that power every turn. Now a power that should go off less than 50% of the time, to be able to get that off 100% of the time automatically is just incredible in my opinion. And that's the best Cabbalistic ritual in my opinion. Now, if you guys have got any that have been doing really well for you, please leave them in the comments below for everybody to share and grow and learn from. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and I hope this clears up how Cabbalistic rituals work and which ones to use and how to use them optimally. And until next week, guys, I'll see you later.